Hi student, in the last video we have explained March SAT Math section 3 till question number 10. Today we will start with the question number 11. Right, so this is the question number 11. So if you see this question, you come to know this is what the figure is given to us. Okay, you need to find what is the area in square unit of the figure shown. Okay, so there are two ways to solve this question. The first way is you can just split this figure into the two parts, right? Or the second way is if you see this directly, that is what? This is a trapezoid. You can just find the area of the trapezoid there and that's it. Okay, let me tell you the solution of this by the both way, right? So I put it A, B, C and D. I labeled it. Now what you can do, you can make a perpendicular from B to side CD at E. This is 90, 90. That means this is a square now, ABED, and the side is 4. So the area will be what? 16. And this is the right angle triangle. So you need to find the area of this right angle triangle also. This AD side is 4, so definitely this is 4. Then what will be the EC? To find the area what we need? We definitely need the EC. What will be EC? Okay, so this is a right angle triangle. You can use the Pythagorean theorem there, right? But as you see there, this is hypotenuse is 5, BE is 4, EC. So if you remember, there is a Pythagorean triplets. What is that? 3, 4 and 5. So definitely if the hypotenuse is 5, this is 4, so EC is going to be 3. So what is the area of this triangle? Area of triangle BEC, that is half times 3 times 4, that is equal to 6. And what we already know, area of square ABED is equal to 16. So what is the area of this figure, the combined area? So this is 16 plus 6 is equal to 22. Do we have this as the answer choices? Yes, we do have. That is B. So we got the B as the answer. Okay, so this is the first way. Another way to solve this is you just need to put the formula there. I mean all the values in the formula. What is the formula? Formula for the trapezoid. So area of trapezoid is equal to half times sum of parallel sides or parallel base multiply the height. Height is the distance between those two parallel sides. So half times what is the sum of the parallel sides there? 4 AB and DC, that is equal to 7, times height. What is the height there? That is 4. This become half times 11 times 4. So this is 22. We got the same thing as we got from the first way. Yeah. So we got the area is equal to 22. That's the answer. So you can solve this question by the two way. You can split it or you can directly use the area of the trapezoid. Let's move to the next question. Okay, question number 12. We have this. What is the y-intercept of the graph of y is equal to 4 to the power x in the xy plane? Right, so directly what we need to find there, y-intercept. Okay, and the graph is given to us. Equation is given to us. We aren't given the graph there, right? But there's no need to worry. Without the graph also you can find out what is the y-intercept. Because for the y-intercept, okay, let me tell you the rule. For the y-intercept, just plug in, put or substitute. Plug in x is equal to 0 in the equation. Right. So if you put x is equal to 0 there, what you get? Y is equal to 4 to the power 0. That is equal to 1. So when x is equal to 0, the value of y is equal to 1, and that is the y-intercept. So what is the coordinate of the y-intercept there? For x it is 0, for y it is 1. Do we have this? In the answer choice, yes, we have. That is equal to, that is the C. That's our answer. Okay, let's move to the question number 13. So this is the question number 13. What we know there? We have given an equation there, and the question is asking what is the sum of the solutions to given equation. So this is a quadratic equation. We need to solve it, then we need to find the sum of the solution. Is it? Yes. Okay, let's do it. So what is there? You just need to simplify it in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0 first of all. So if you see this, for x square minus 14x plus 40 is equal to 2x plus 1. So what we'll do, you will just subtract 2x from both sides. X square minus 16x plus 40 is equal to 1. Then you can subtract 1 from both sides. What you get? X square minus 16x plus 39 is equal to 0. Now we got this equation in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay, if I ask you to find the solutions of this equation, okay, so there are several ways to solve this and find the value of x, that is the solution. What are the ways? You can factorize it. You can using the formula. The third way is you can graph it and find the where the curve, the parabola is intersecting the x-axis. Another way also, you know that, what is that? Completing the square. There are several, like 4 or 5 ways you can solve, you can find the values of x there. But do you need to do all that thing? No, you don't need to do all that thing. You see there, the question is asking what is the sum of the solutions of the given equation. Okay, so let me tell you, this is the rule. Rule is what? When you have the equation in form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, then sum of the roots, or you can say solution, sum of the solutions or roots, right, is equal to negative b by a. You can directly say that is negative b by a. I'll tell you about this in the another video. Soon we will start like making the videos topic wise also. So then I'll tell you how it comes, right? So using this, can you find the sum of the roots or solution of this equation? Yes, you can say. What is that? Negative b. B is what there? If you see this, a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 16, and c is equal to 39. So b is equal to negative 16 divided by a is what? 1 there. So this becomes negative negative positive, divide by 1, that is equal to 16. So what we got? The sum of the solution as 16. That's our answer, right? So there is no need to factorize it, or you can say to find the the solutions using the equation, using the formula, right? There is no need to solve it using the completing the square. Okay, you just need to need to find sum of the solution, and that is negative b over a, right? Let's move to the next question. Okay, this is the question number 14. We have given a formula there. L is equal to s times 1 minus v square by c square. We have given the few lines in the question also. But do you think you need to read those lines? Look, SAT generally give you this type of question, but believe me, you don't need to read those lines there. What is the question asking? Thus, the question line, the last line, which of the following gives the speed of the object? And if you see this question, what is the speed of the object? Speed of the object is v, and in the answer choices also, all the answer choices represent the v. That means you need to find the v from the given formula. Okay, so this like you if you see this, actually this is what? This is the science question, but you do not require any science knowledge to solve this. What you just need, you need this formula what that is given to us, and then from this formula what you need to find? You need to find the v in terms of other quantity. right? Okay, let's solve it. So first of all, what you'll do, you'll just divide by s both side. L by s is equal to under root v minus v square by c square. Then you'll do the square of both sides to get rid of this square root. So get this will be L square over s square is equal to 1 minus v square over c square. Again, so what we'll do now, you know that what we need the v there, right? So v here is in negative. So what you can do, you can just get rid of that negative, just transfer v square minus c square to the other side. So v square by c square, and this you can transfer to the other side. So this will be 1 minus L square by s square. Now you can just multiply by v square both side, c square both side. So this will become c square 1 minus L square by s square, and then you can take the square root of both sides. So what you get, v is equal to c under root, because the square root of c square is c under root 1 minus L square by s square. Do we have this in the answer choices? Yes, we have, and that is equal to A. So what we need to find, we just need to find the v from there, and there is no knowledge of the signs we required. We just find out v using that formula. Okay, right? Okay, let's move to the next question, question number 14, last question of the day. This is question number 15. What is it saying? The half-life of a certain substance in an aquatic environment is about 150 years. Which of the following exponential functions best model the amount AT in grams of the substance T year after 200 grams of the substance is applied to the aquatic environment, right? We have given this question is considered on the half-life, right? So what is the half-life? Half-life is, this is also given to us there. So half-life is the length of the time needed for the amount of the substance to decrease to the one half of the amount. Suppose in this question we have given the 200 grams was there initially, okay, and the half-life is what, 150 years, okay. So what should be the amount after 150 years? So after 150 years it should be half, that means it should be equal to 100 only, right? Okay, so we got it. Now what you know, you just plug in what you just think t is equal to 150, and when you see the t is equal to 150 years, so after 150 years this amount becomes 100, that means AT is equal to 100. So that means if you plug in there t is equal to 150 in the answer choices, so answer choices should give you AT is equal to 100. Okay, if you put there t is equal to 150 from the answer choice, in the answer choice is A, so what you get, 150 1 by 2 times 150 divided by 200, and when you solve it, this become what, I'm solving it here, 150 1 by 2 times this become what, 3 by 4, so this become 2 to the power 3, and that's the fourth root of that, right? So this is not going to be 100 when you solve it, right? This is not going to be 100, so that is not the answer. When you put t is equal to 150 there in the answer choice is B, so what you get, 150 1 by 2 times 200 times 150, so this become 1 by 2 to the power 3000, right? So it's going to be very less, right? Suppose if I give this example, 1 by 2 to the power 2, this become 1 by 4, 1 by 2 to the power 3, this become 1 by 8, 1 by 2 to the power 4, this become 1 by 16. So what is going on there? When the power increasing, the value of this exponent, because this is in fraction, this is decreasing, like 1 by 4, then 1 by 8, 1 by 16. So definitely this is going to be very less. It's not going to be 100. So you can eliminate the B. Again, when you see the C is also 150. So 200 times 1 by 2 to the power 150 times 150. So this is going to be very less again. You can eliminate this also. And when you see the D is what? 200, 1 by 2. This T is what? 150. We are plugging 150 divided by 150. This is 200. This become what? 1 by 2 to the power 1. So this become 200 into 1 by 2. This is 100. We are getting as same as we are getting from the half-life, using the half-life, right? So yeah, so D is giving us the same as we got 100. So D is the answer, right? So in this type of question, you don't need to make the model there, right? What you need to do, you just plug in there the values. We plug in like after 150 years only, the amount of the 200 grams will left as 100. So we just plug in T is equal to 150 there, and we get with 100, right? And from the D only we get when we put 150, so we get amount after 150 years, the amount will be 100, right? So that's it for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our video.